Greetings, it's Marci Javril, and today we're going to concentrate on our chest, our lungs, our heart. Many times I've taught you things about clearing your head with lymphatic massage because you are a body of water, 60 to 80%. And if we use the principle of fluid dynamics, we'll actually be able to take that invisible shower that's happening to our bodies every day, all day, and accelerate its movement. Did you know that doing lymphatic massage on your lymph nodes and on your body will accelerate the movement of lymph fluid moving 10 times as fast as normal waking life? Why, that's really worth it. And the reason I'm very focused on lymphatic is because when I was being trained in massage school with my teacher, Lauren Barry, I had bronchitis. I had chronic bronchitis. And it would come every year, and I would just like cough and cough and cough. And I would use all those cough syrups, and I would try herbs, and I would go to the sauna, and I would just hack and hack and hack. And so finally, when I was being trained with Lauren Barry, oh, and you can read about that in my book, Feel Like Yourself Again, and find me on yogaoftouch.com. That's where all my stuff is, and I'm here to help you support your own self-care journey because I've had that experience for myself. I cured myself of chronic bronchitis with this very method. It is not the same as the Vater system, which most people do know, MLD, manual lymphatic drainage. My teacher was Lauren Barry, and I learned from him that the mucus that comes from all of your head and your eyes and your nose and your throat and all that, it comes down here. But then because it's semi-solid waste material, it has to exit at the colon. And so I have a little blouse on today so that I can demonstrate to you what the key point of all my work with the chest is about. It's about the horizontal diaphragm. So your horizontal diaphragm is separating your chest cavity from your abdominal cavity. And as your laundry chute of the esophagus and the alimentary canal comes through, it has to go through a vacuum that is right there at the diaphragm. And so many of us have breathing problems and tightness, and when we get anxious, the whole diaphragm just closes up and then we can't breathe well. So remember that the lymph only moves through muscle contraction, and part of the muscle contraction that moves your internal shower that's cleaning everything is the respiratory diaphragm. So whenever you breathe, that is helping pump the lymph. It's so fantastic. So laughing and having an orgasm or running or bouncing on a ball, anything that will reoxygenate you is fantastic. So let me just show you a little bit of the science before we get going. This is the funny, silly drawing that I made based on what I learned from my teacher, Lauren Barry, all about how the mucus actually goes down and ends up in the colon. And I want to warn you, when you do this, you may have what we call slippery shits. Yeah, because we got to get rid of that stuff. So here's a picture. So I'll go over the science later, but I want to show you the experience. So anybody who's already learned the head, you're going to benefit so much more if you include the chest. So let's start with our fingers, activating our fingers because we're going to heal with our own hands, and breathe into your own fingers. Lots of great energizing, activating, healing, and let it go and relax your hands. And remember that your whole body is involved when you're massaging yourself. It's not just your fingertips or your hands. It's all the way from your grounded self through your belly, through your chest, through your head, and include your entire energy body, because that is really what's going to help you keep this going. So placing your fingertips like they're soft jelly mittens. So imagine you have giant mittens on and they're just full of aloe vera gel. And place them right there in between all the ribs. And start to move those little tips in and out in little circles. This is what we call neuro-lymphatic massage. So it's activating the nervous system, the central nervous system, and also the lymphatic system. So very gentle circles all around right here next to the sternum. And you can also go up along the collarbone and do that too. And then the other thing we want to do is make sure we activate the lymph nodes in the underarms. So fingertips under into the armpit and thumb on top of the pec muscle. Squeeze, relax, squeeze, relax, relax, squeeze, relax, relax. And then put your thumb in your armpit and your fingertips around the back. And squeeze, relax, relax, squeeze, relax, relax. This is going to get all the pumping going. Now, some of the other massages I've taught you, we don't need oil. But in this case, let's use a little oil because we want to be sliding just a little bit. So I'm going to use my coconut oil, which right now is solid. Oh, well, that's what happens. I'll put a little bit. And where is it going to go? Well, it's going to go from the sides to the center and down the center line. From the sides to the center and down the center line. And we're going to do that not just on the front of the chest, but reach all the way around the back, because every rib is like a little river of fluid, and come right through the breast material, come right to the sternum. So reach all the way around the back, bring it past the armpit, past the top of the breast material, to the sternum, to the breastbone. And let's do a little bit more of that activation right here at the chest. And take a deep breath. Now, as we go a little bit lower, people who have breast material, even if it's an insert or if it's lactation, if it's a breast full of milk, it doesn't matter. You're going to still just move that breast out of the way and get as close to the chest cavity as possible. Same thing on the lower area. Get as close to the chest cavity as possible. So bring that breast material up out of the way and hug yourself. Hug yourself. And hug yourself right across. Now, hopefully you're doing this naked. Well, I'm doing it with a blouse on. But please take off all your clothes when you do this. And make sure you're using a little oil and bring it from the back to the front. From the back to the front. From the back to the front. And then down the center line. What will happen when it gets down the center line? Well, right here where your ribs come together, I'll lean back now. Your ribs come together, and right there's your diaphragm. Let's do a little fire breathing right now. Feel that. So now take your right hand, this is my right hand, and slide it along that area. And then use your fingertips to go underneath the rib cage. So everything from the back is coming to the front, and then it's going to slide down what I call the big river. These little rivers of the ribs come together into the big river down by the sternum, and then they empty into the belly and the colon. But the most important place is the left side. My teacher, Lauren Berry, called it the spleen diagonal, and that is definitely what it is. You'll see on my picture here, it diagonally goes under the left ribs. And then it goes and it dumps into the descending colon. So the left rib cage is the most important place for your entire lymphatic system, because this is where it gets hung up, right here at the respiratory diaphragm. So what are we going to do right there? Oh, I need a little more oil because it got absorbed. So this is a little bit why you need that lubrication right now, because right now you're going to take all that material from the back to the front and make a little circle right here underneath where your ribs come together. Be careful, there's a little spot there called the xiphoid process, and you definitely do not want to press on that too hard. Get my head up here where I can see you. There we go. And so as you come together here, take a deep breath in, and as you let it out, take your right hand and slide it diagonally down towards your sigmoid flexure, and let your left hand sit on top of your right hand. Slide down. And if you can do two things, which is first sliding down with your fingertips and then allowing the heel of your hand to continue that slide, the heel comes down, and then you do a little bit of like a little hiccup, a little extra breath. And that actually resets the vacuum of the lungs and all the mucus coming down. If by chance you have a surgery here, it can be in the way. It can actually, the scar tissue can interfere, and so that's why I'm very concerned with all my ladies that have breast inserts. I give them this massage all the time, because a lot of them have either been cut underneath the breast material, or they have some kind of adhesions in here. So the reason I chose this blouse is because it demonstrates a little bit about what we want to do with our own hands. It's a fascia release. So the fascia release means that you're not just going to take your hand and slide it down that material, but you're also going to drag it just a little bit away. So you want to get the fascia material of the first layer of skin away from the second layer. So pulling it outward a little bit by using the other hand. This might be complicated for some people, but don't worry about it. If you just do the spleen diagonal, and then the heel of the hand, you'll actually feel that coming down into your colon. And I'll go over the belly in another session. The belly goes around in a big circle. The chest empties like a shape of a T. So I call it a T-shirt. Yeah. And then the eyes, you might remember if you've taken my class, is like Junior Aviator, the shape of goggles. So when you learn the entire torso for moving and accelerating lymphatic fluid in your body, you will find everything starts to clear up. Don't forget, this is the garbage disposal switch. This is where all solid waste material has to land. So if it's semi-solid or mucus, it's got to come down. Yes, in the Vater system, we go up, because that's where the clean plasma is going back to the blood. But where is the gunk going? So I call it the coffee percolator. This is where the gunk goes down and the clean water goes up. It's a watershed. So in this watershed, you can do these dental lymphatic, neurolymphatic pressure points all the way down. And you can actually do them all around what I call the bra line. That's a super important place. get those boobies out of the way, girls, and open up this area, because it's going to really improve your breathing. And take off those bra underwires. Oh, they're so bad for you. I cannot tell you. They are impeding the movement of lymphatic fluid, which is cleaning your lungs. And your lungs are cleaning your whole head and your whole body. So be good to yourself. Again, my name is Marci Javril. I'd love for you to come to my YouTube channel, because that's where I post all of these videos all over again. And then I show you the science again. And I have a few more things that I'll show you on the video on YouTube. This one showing the lymphatic system. And this one, really important one, all the neurolymphatic points. So we're doing all of that with our hands-on approach. You don't need to know a lot about anatomy. You need to use a gentle, slow, repetitive movement of your hands that replicates fluid dynamics in your body. Because the fluid in your body is just underneath the surface. What we want to move, it's like aloe vera gel. And we're going to scoop and slide and send it down the big river. And of course, if you were naked, you wouldn't have this in the way. So take off all your clothes and do this in the bathtub or the shower. And bring it all the way down, all the way down, all the way down. Now you can slide underneath your rib cage. That's a little diaphragm release. And later on, I'll show you how to do the belly, or come to my YouTube channel to see it. Belly goes around in a big circle, but mainly it's this left spleen diagonal. So fingertips underneath the left rib cage. Right hand is moving downward across the body, down in a diagonal. Left hand is piggyback the left hand. Once you get the heel of your hand there, give a little and oh my goodness, you'll feel it go gurgle, 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 and you'll say, oh, that's just my stomach. Well, yeah, that's where your stomach and spleen are, absolutely. And your spleen is part of your immune system. So again, my name is Marci Javril, and I'd love for you to come and visit me on my IGTV. That's also where I post all of these great self-care things. And so be treated well and treat yourself well. Take care, and I'll see you again soon.